what a good way to round off the 200th game for Durham in T20.
Yeah, really good performance. Really proud of the guys that they went about it. I thought the energy was brilliant. Started right from the very first ball, really. I think a good line in the sand was done by Brighton Carson that first over, and against a powerful batting lineup: Livingston, Finn Allen, Butler, Dane Vias. As powerful as you'll get, I guess, in the county game. So I thought the bowling performance was outstanding. The fielding performance was outstanding. Lancashire were definitely under par at half time, and that power play from us from a batting point of view as well, from Clark and Betting was awesome.
Yeah, they sort of continued on tonight where they left off the other night.
Yeah, absolutely. They're in brilliant touch, both of them. Better's a couple of 50s in a row. Clarkie's hitting them beautifully as he did last year, and he's shown in years gone by. So that's a partnership that's working nicely at the moment. It's getting us off to a fantastic start. The middle order got the job done tonight. They've been a little bit stuck the last couple of games, but it was really cool to see the middle order see the game through.
Yeah. What's the situation with Paul Coughlin? Because he seemed to hurt his leg stopping a 4.
Yeah,
he's available to.
He's come off, and he's got a bit of a strain. I think there's an assessment to be had over the next sort of day or two. I think we've just got to see how it settles overnight, and sort of see what it's like tomorrow.
From what I gather, there's nobody else left because of the coronavirus situation with the second team. So, is there anybody you could register to play tomorrow if needs be?
Yeah, look, we've got a bit of thinking to do tonight. Obviously, there's been a statement put out by the club around what's happening with the COVID situation. But as far as the game's concerned, tonight it was an excellent performance, and we start to focus and think about and plan for Yorkshire tomorrow night down at Henley, which is another big game for us.
Yeah. Is there anything in the rules, James, about you being allowed to draft other players in? Is there an emergency loan?
To be honest, Marty, I haven't even thought about it because I've been so focused on this game. So we'll put our heads together about it now.
Right. And as far as Lancashire concerned, I mean, you'll be aware of how good their record's been up in the northeast in recent years. They've won the last 8 visits here until tonight. So an incredible turnaround there. Yeah,
I mean, they're a strong unit in all formats. They've got some wonderful players, and we realised that the last time they came up here that they beat us, but the game before this one, we played them down at Old Trafford at the back end of last year. We turned them over on their home patch, so we've gone 2 from 2 against them, and that's good for our morale. But now, as I said, we've got to quickly focus on Yorkshire, whom we beat in our first game last week. But we know going to Henley, it's a totally different proposition, and it's a brand new game. And we've got to recover well and get down to Leeds and turn up from ball 1 and hopefully put in another good performance tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think I was doing the maths the other day. By the time you play Warwickshire at the weekend, that'll have been 6 games in 10 days. I mean, that's enough to stretch anybody, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy schedule at the moment, but it's the same for everyone around the country, Marty. It is what it is, and you've got to use the time between games. Obviously, we've got to back up tomorrow night, but the last few games we've had a day off or a couple of days off between games, so you've got to really utilise those days to rest, recover, and get mentally right for the next game. And it's going to be this way over the next couple of weeks. It is what it is. As I said, every team's the same, and we've just got to get on with it.
Yeah, and just quickly going back to the opening stand tonight, because I think you froze while you were answering that one. Graham Clark and David Bedingham hitting the ball really well at the minute. I mean, Bedingham tonight with some big 6s to get to his second half century in a row. Brilliant,
absolutely brilliant. Sometimes when you chase these sort of totals, they can be a little bit tricky, but they put that to bed with the power play. 70 for none. And it's the second game in a row where we've hit 70 in the power play. It just put us right in front of the game. And really, it was just a case of them through that middle 10 overs of just knocking the ball around. Unfortunately, we probably lost a couple more wickets than we'd ideally want to. But with that power play, it was just a case of playing smart, efficient cricket for the rest of the game. And ultimately, that was what happened, and it got us home safe and sound with a couple of overs to go.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Marty.
Hi, Frank. Just a couple of questions from me.
Yeah, sure, mate.
We talked about in the past about Durham have had fast starts in the past, but there's sometimes been a clatter of wickets, and you've sometimes struggled chasing those low totals. Do you think it's been a proven point from a learning experience from those past years that you're getting over the line now?
Yeah, look, sometimes you just got to, improve through some, tough, rough experiences. And certainly already this year, we still haven't played the perfect batting innings tonight. As much as we've won with a couple of overs, we probably lost a couple more wickets than we wanted to. So there's still areas that we can improve on. And that's an exciting aspect from where I sit and where the other coaches sit, is that we know, even though we've won 3 out of 4 games, we can still play better and perform better. And that's what you're always striving to do as coaches, to get that out of the players. And equally from a playing group, you're trying to be better every game that you play, and try and make individual improvements as well. So that's an exciting position to be in. And we go down to Leeds tomorrow, knowing that we've got a very tough game against Yorkshire, and we've got to be close to our best to beat them on their home patch.
A nice little 29 there from Cameron Bancroft. He's not quite had the form yet, but that'll settle some nerves.
Yeah. We had a couple of warm-up games before the competition started about a week or so ago, and he hit the ball beautifully, but it hasn't quite happened for him in the first few games, and that's the nature of T20. But hopefully tonight's knock of 20 odd, seeing the team through, will hopefully set him up nicely for the next few games.
And just a note on Matty Potts as well. I mean, he got some tap in the first over, but he responded to that nicely. 3 wickets again.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, he's been doing it for the last couple of years, and he's got a really tough job. He bowls a couple in the power play, he bowls a couple at the death, and he's a young bowler, and he's up for it. He loves that challenge, and he's done it well over the last couple of years. So really cool to see him rebound from last game with that performance tonight, and also all the other bowlers. I thought they all did an outstanding job. Liam Travascus, Brighton Cass, Scott Borthwick as well, bowling his full quota for the first time. I thought he did an outstanding job. So the bowling group were excellent.
Just finally, Ben Stokes has sort of been in and around the team. Been a bit of a tease for you out there, but do you know any news on his availability?
Look, there's no time frame at the moment, Simon. Every day he feels like he's getting a little bit closer. But when that day is that he actually gets out there, that's, I guess, to be determined by himself and the ECB. And we're really looking forward to that day. But when that day is, I can't say.
Okay, that's great. Cheers, Ricky.
Right, cheers, Simon. Thanks, mate.